VoxlBlade is full of unique builds and strategies, with hundreds of ways to conquer the game. So, what if we completely threw that in the garbage and took the most miserable playstyle imaginable all the way to the endgame completely alone? Well, that's what I'm here to figure out. This is VoxlBlade Summons Only. Hey, it's Iron, and welcome back to VoxlBlade. It's been a bit since I've done a series, so I'll quickly lay out the ground rules before I see some absolutely diabolical comments. I will only ever deal damage via summoning. I cannot hit mobs with any M1s or M2s, nor can I do direct damage via any kind of runes. The series is entirely solo, meaning I'm not allowed to trade, be boosted, use the bank, use BROKKR, join public servers, or have anyone else assist me in any way. To complete this challenge, I will have to beat every single boss and dungeon at their intended 1.0 difficulty to consider them defeated. This entire series will be streamed live right here on this channel. So, if you want to see me suffer live, consider subscribing and turning on notifications to never miss a stream. Of course, all streams will be announced in my Discord server, so check the description if you want to join that. With all that out of the way though, let's look into my journey of being VoxlBlade with only summons. Oh god. The first step of our incredibly long journey is figuring out which race would benefit us the most. After talking with chat for a little bit though, we eventually landed on Elf being the choice. We didn't have the Jet Stone Lake Decider here, so no Arborean Master Race here for today. Anywho, the start of this run is very similar to my Weaponless series. In concept, we don't have a weapon to use against any of the overworld mobs, meaning we were locked out for the usual progressions of a VoxlBlade run. Instead, we needed to focus on the non-combat quests that lie around the map. Of course, with the recent update, this goal became a lot easier. But before we see that, we have to sit through the usual, letter delivery quests that haunt me in my dreams constantly. This is purely just running from point to point. So picking these two up early on is key to the passive EXP gain that we need in the early game. Another goal of mine while running around was deciding how I would get my first damage source. Obviously, it would have to be a summon, who could have guessed. Summoning has two general paths, Hex and Holy. We do not talk about magic summoning, that is a mental illness. Hex has a singular massive powerhouse summon, while Holy prioritizes absolutely filling your screen with 400 buffed blessedlings. But wouldn't it be funny if in spite of a certain someone, we would combine the two? Surely that plan wouldn't ruin me in the future. I'm very good at thinking ahead, I swear. Anyways, the next quest we would want is the Hidden Frosty quest. We need to deliver a very cold kitty from the top of Tundra all the way down to a small house in the middle of floral fields. I'm sure you could guess, but this is just more running. I hope you're seeing the pattern here, because I sure as hell am. This right here is the quest that completely changes the course of the early game in comparison to my progression in the Weaponless series. In Weaponless, I barely even reached level 15 while doing every single passive quest on the map, and now I'm able to hit level 10 well before even considering Thorn's quest to be an option. Frosty. Holy shit, what? What? What is this quest? This massive jump in EXP was a confidence booster, but this confidence was majorly misplaced. Next step was to complete Thorn's quest, to continue inching closer to level 15. Level 15, of course, is where we unlock access to almost every single guild, and would be a massive deciding factor in the success of this run, which is why I promptly chose one of the worst guilds that I could have ever considered running, at least according to chat. What? Oh my god, this is beautiful. Dude, I love Void Cliffs with... Oh, it's so pretty. I wish I had my free cam on this account. No! This is so pretty. Cursed Guild gives the player a passive to increase all non-enchant perks, which in terms of summoner is rarely useful. The only playstyle this would ever improve is the trusty servant or hex path of summoning, so surely I would upgrade the hex path first, right? That would make sense. Let's ignore my obvious flaws for now and figure out what I was actually going to do in the future. As I stated before, summoner is incredibly small when it comes to options. We don't have many paths to go logically, and so figuring out the most perfect balance of sustainability as well as damage output is important. Something that is very important is how my summons are able to target and damage mobs. If you've ever ran any kind of summoner in VoxlBlade, you know that there are two options, attack and defense. Summons will either target the mob you most recently have damaged, or the mob that has most recently damaged you. Because of this, with no ability to output damage myself, the only way I could trick my summons into being actually helpful is to purposefully damage myself. This is where the idea of sustain is important, as without sustain, I will be chipped apart slowly, and I will not be shaped into a perfect marble statue. I will be dust on the ground. Summoners usually have poles as their handle, however, so blocking hits is already more efficient than your standard weak and pathetic and stupid and dumb bloody DPS build. Oh, this sucks. Oh, this is really bad. With our game plan now in mind, we have to reach our goal in progression. First step, armor. Of course, I could be lame and just use Lich King armor, a purchasable armor set outside of Floral Fields. However, the glory of tearing apart hundreds of bumbles called out to me. All I needed was for one of them to hit me. It couldn't be that hard, right? Bumbles are stupid and blind and dumb, and I hate them. They are so stupid. How do they not see me? They need to sting me. That is their entire purpose in life. Because of this flaw in the Bumble's kind, we need a way to make our summons hit passive mobs. And the solution? The Angry Bee. Drones are not passive. In fact, they are incredibly rude when you get to know them. So we will be using them as the aggro source. The plan was to have our summons aggro onto the drone nearby a Bumbles, and of course using the concept of AoE, the damage would hit both targets. This idea sounds good in my head, however the absolute ineptitude of the mob AI proves me wrong every single time. Whoa, Hiron jump scare, my bad. Real quick, I want to thank the channel members who make everything here possible. So, thank you to Makeshift, Pixel, Fantolomew, Shade Morningstar, Arrow, and Smile. If you want to help support the channel, consider becoming a member by clicking the join button down below. And while you're down there, consider subscribing, as it'll help out an absolute massive amount, as only 15% of my viewers are subscribed. Isn't that, like, crazy? Sounds like you guys hate me. Do you hate me? Everyone in this household hates me. Yeah! I got a head! Let's go! I'm the best! I'm the best! I'm the best! Eventually, I would reign supreme over these bees and prove my strength as the best summoner main in history. Ignore everyone else, of course. I hate summoner. After this, incident, I chose to instead shift my focus from Bumbles to literally anything else, and set my eyes instead on the Floral Field Void Rift. This idea was absolutely stupid, but if I was successful, the EXP reward would pay off massively. And so, after a few miserable attempts, I eventually figured out the solution through valiant brute force. Time to regret. Yep. Stream's over, guys. Go home. Suboptimal. Okay. We are not going home. We are here to see you suffer. No. Beam him. Beam this one. There we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Okay, this is peak. This is peak? Hold on. The music stopped. The music cut out at the worst time possible. We're gonna wait for one more gremlin shot. Okay, then we summon. Cleanse, block. Shoot it. Come on. Now shoot them. Yes. Why are you alive still? I thought it was over. Yeah! We win! We win! It's just that easy. First try. First try. I unlocked recall. That was not first try. Sure it was. This was the first leap towards my descent into madness. However, until this plummet happens, I was confident that I would be able to absolutely crush this challenge. All I needed was 400 attempts at literally anything, and it would be possible. Man, I love brute force. Now that I knew my damage was at least somewhat there, I took off to the Tundra to complete the 2 quests for easy XP. Or at least one of them. Oh, Scows are passive. Oh my god, I'm stupid. Oh. No! Yeah, so turns out Scows are just little babies and they don't want to fight for some reason? So we would have to settle with Winter Wolves instead. Winter Wolves start off as a single mob, but once you initiate the fight, they will summon their own pack. So it was basically the worst Pokemon battle you could have ever sentenced yourself to watching. My damage output was so slow, and the Winter Wolves did insane damage when they got close. And of course, they ran at the same speed as me, making escaping combat to summon anything an absolute nightmare. So I had to employ my secret weapon. It's literally just choosing the mobs. Yeah, so it turns out you can actually just get half the mobs in the game stuck on like a small ledge or a tree, and by an absolute miracle, you can win literally any fight that doesn't include range attacks. This little experience would prove to be one of my most powerful tools at my disposal. Eventually, this strategy will show its flaws, but until then, abusing it is one of the only ways I will ever be even close to capable of beating anything. After completing the Winter Wolf Hunt quest, I set my focus on the swamp for the last part of my adventure for the day. I wanted to hit level 20 before ending the stream for the night, and so completing the small quests in Vinelands would get me there. However, after killing a few bullfrogs, I met my new nemesis, the Grumpkin. Equipped with 2 ways of dealing massive murderous damage, the Grumpkin would prove to be an incredibly tough opponent. Of course, I don't mean it would do massive damage to me. No, that would be silly. Instead, their massive HP bar made them an absolute snooze fest, taking many summons in a row to even see him reach half health, along with the massive AoE attacks that could nuke my summons well before they got the chance to deal damage. And after a whopping 14 minutes to kill 2 whole Grumpkins, I got enough SP to get the trusty servant part unlocked as a weapon. And my blessedling became an absolute beast, dealing a crazy 100 damage per shot. Well, compared to the 16 we were doing before, that's pretty good. So that's where the stream ended. Not much happened, as per usual, but that's how the first day goes. The progression in the very beginning of the game sucks, but I assure you, Summoner gets better, right? It gets better, right? Please, God, tell me it gets better.